Welcome to this video that tells the story of 10 people who made remarkable finds in thrift stores and flea markets. From a signed Picasso print to an authentic movie poster from a 1930s Oscar winner to a 17th century Chinese cup crafted from a rare rhinoceros horn, these discoveries are sure to fascinate. So stay tuned as we uncover the incredible tales of these lucky thrift store shoppers that hit the jackpot with their finds. The Picasso poster. In 2012, Zachary Bodish was shopping in a thrift store in Columbus, Ohio, when he found an old poster for a Pablo Picasso art exhibit. Believing it to be a neat reproduction, he decided to buy it for the price of $14.14. However, once he noticed the red markings and conducted some research, he realized that he could have a signed Picasso print. The poster was framed in a wood and glass frame, and it featured Picasso's signature in the form of a red stamp. After Bodish purchased the poster, he spent several weeks researching the piece until he was certain that the signature was indeed from the famous painter. He soon contacted experts in the art world to confirm that he was the owner of a rare signed Picasso print. With the confirmation, Bodish was able to find a buyer for the piece who paid him $7,000 for it, a fact that he revealed to the Associated Press. The surprise in the picture frame. On a 2007 visit to a thrift store in Summerville, South Carolina, art dealer and collector Laura Stoffer had a great time rummaging through the goods and browsing through the merchandise. She eventually stumbled across a frame print of a painting from the mid-1800s that captivated her attention and was quite reasonably priced, so she decided to purchase it and take it home. Upon arrival, however, she made an astonishing discovery. The artwork was actually hiding an original movie poster from the 1930s Oscar winner All Quiet on the Western Front, which is estimated to be worth up to $20,000. The couch with a secret. A German student made a spectacular find when she purchased a used sofa from a flea market in Berlin for a mere $215. Upon further inspection, she realized that tucked away inside the couch was a painting, Preparation to Escape to Egypt, an anonymous artwork crafted in the early 1600s. Deeply intrigued, she took it to an auction house where it sold for a remarkable sum of $27,630 in 2007, making it a lucrative investment indeed. The cheap diamond. In 2012, the cold weather drew Beth Freeback into a North Carolina Goodwill store. On her way to an art show to sell her own work, she decided to buy a blanket, and then her attention was drawn on some paintings that were for sale for a mere $10. Impulsively, she decided to purchase them with the intention of painting over the large canvases. Later, a friend suggested that she do some research on the paintings first. She finally got around to it months later, and to her astonishment, one of the works was Vertical Diamonds by 20th century abstract artist Ilya Botolowski. After further research, she discovered that this painting was valued at an incredible $34,375 and eventually sold for that amount. Timepiece extravaganza. Zach Norris was well aware of the worth of a Jaeger-LeCoultre deep sea alarm watch he unearthed while rummaging through a box of old watches at the Goodwill in Phoenix in 2015. As a vintage wristwatch enthusiast, Norris was aware that only 900 of these timepieces were ever produced and was given the rarity. He was delighted to pay the paltry sum of $5.99 for it. After further examination, it was authenticated, and Norris was able to cash in on his findings, selling it for an impressive $35,000 in cash, plus a $4,000 Mega Speedmaster watch. A treasure for the toy box. In 2011, Thea Jordan, a British woman, purchased a sparkly brooch for around $31, not fully aware that the royal gem was once owned by a Russian Tsarina. She had simply thought it would make an exciting addition to her 4-year-old daughter's toy collection, and the girl would take it with her to school and out running errands. Without the family's knowledge, the brooch was adorned with genuine diamonds and went undetected until Jordan was having her engagement ring appraised for insurance purposes. The appraiser took an interest in the brooch and was astonished to discover the immense value of the piece, resulting in Jordan being able to sell it for an astonishing $43,000. An epic sweater. In 2014, Sean and Ricky McAvoy couldn't believe their luck when they discovered a second-hand West Point sweater at a Goodwill store in Asheville, North Carolina, for a mere 58 cents. Upon closer inspection, they noticed the sweater had some moth damage, but Ricky decided to hold on to the item and repair it for her husband. Little did they know that after some time had passed, they were watching a documentary about Vince Lombardi. They realized he was wearing the same sweater. To their amazement, after checking the label, they found Lombardi's name written inside. To confirm its authenticity, the McAvoys had it verified, and then it sold for an astonishing $43,020. An unbelievable windfall from their thrifty find. A cup to remember. In 2013, an Australian shopper stumbled upon an extraordinary find while rummaging through a thrift shop. A particular-looking cup that cost only $4. Intrigued by its design, the buyer sought out its origin and attempted to ascertain its worth and understand its history. After presenting a picture of the item to Sotheby's, it was identified as a 17th century Chinese libation cup that had been crafted from a rare rhinoceros horn. To their astonishment, the lucky purchaser was able to sell the cup at auction for an incredible sum of more than $75,000. An amazing reward for their discovery. Art home run. At a South Carolina Goodwill store, an 81-year-old ex-antique dealer dubbed Leroy noticed a painting in a 19th century frame that was on sale for only $3. Intrigued by the frame, he and his daughter-in-law decided to take it to Antiques Roadshow to investigate further, hoping to discover that the painting inside could be the same age. To their astonishment, the painting was a 17th century Flemish work of art, with a remarkable backstory and intricate details that made it so valuable. When it was sold at auction in 2012, it went for an impressive $190,000, an incredible profit from the original bargain price. Necklace treasure. In 2005, a woman from Philadelphia made an astute decision when she purchased a necklace for just $15 at a flea market, not suspecting that it would end up being worth a fortune. Little did she know that when she wore the piece to an Alexander Calder exhibit at the Philadelphia Art Museum 3 years later, she would be able to recognize the similarities between her item and those on display. It turned out that her necklace was indeed an authentic 1940s work by the famed sculptor and was appraised for an astonishing price of around $300,000. A staggering amount that was far from her initial investment of just $15.